If I was a client of your MSP and I was on the phone with one of your technicians, telling them about a common frustration that I'm having, it's actually something they could help with, but it would involve me spending money. I'd have to upgrade something or buy some new software or something. In that situation, would they suggest that solution to me? Or would they not? Because like many technicians, they don't ever want to be seen as doing any kind of sales. They don't want to be seen as a salesperson, despite the fact that selling me this software or this service would make my life better. Would that happen in your MSP? I'm asking this because I am wondering if in your business you employ any sales prevention officers. Let's find out. Hey, I'm Paul Green, and don't forget, for all of the content, tools and training to market and grow your MSP, check out mspmarketingedge.com. An extraordinary event happened to me a few years back, and it was before I upgraded to an EV, to a Tesla. So my car was low on diesel, and I popped into my local petrol station on the way home. Now, the woman behind the counter was acting in the most peculiar way. "You're the last customer!" She practically spat at me, and she was actually pointing at me with her finger. "And then I need to shut the forecourt and stop selling petrol!" Well, what's going on, I asked, because perhaps there'd been a big fuel spillage or an accident of some kind. And I couldn't believe her answer. "I've run out of till rolls," she replied. It was such a bizarre answer that I didn't understand at first. So I said, "Sorry, you're shutting the whole petrol station because you've run out of till rolls." You know, the little receipt thing that comes out of the till. "It's the law!" she screamed at me, something to do with having to give a receipt to someone when you sell them something, some bizarre UK law. But by this time, there were other drivers standing at the pumps. They've got the nozzle in their car. They're waiting for her to press the button to authorise the fuel. And she's tapping at the window, waving at them, pulling her finger across the neck, you know, like in a classic dead motion. And I tried to help her out, and I said to her, "Look, even if the law says you can't sell fuel without a receipt, you could always do handwritten receipts for those who want them, because most people probably aren't bothered." That's what I suggested. "They just want fuel," I said to her. But she was having none of it. And once I'd paid, she went outside to cone off the entrance to the petrol station. I mean, the whole thing was completely shut down. It was a nightmare. This woman was the most successful sales prevention officer that I'd ever met. And I have met quite a few, as you probably have as well. She took a small detail of her job, quite literally, and rather than work flexibly around it, decided it would just be easier to shut the whole business down for a few hours. Can you imagine how incandescent with rage her boss would have been when he found out? Now, I bumped into another sales prevention officer a few weeks ago. I was taking a long walk around one of the lovely lakes near where I live in Milton Keynes here in the UK. And it's a habit of mine to pick up a takeaway coffee from a pub on the lake. It's always busy with a flurry of walkers doing the same thing on a Sunday morning. This week, though, as soon as I walked through the doors, a bored-looking girl shouted, "No coffee, we ain't got no takeaway cups," and then looked down at her Instagram again. I kid you not, this is exactly what happened. And her attitude and that welcome pretty much shut down the alternative of staying in for a coffee or maybe even having breakfast as a treat. And I'm sure by this point she was sick of having to tell walkers there were no coffee cups. To her, this was hassle, whereas you and I would see this as an opportunity. So here's a scary question for you. How do the sales prevention officers act in your MSP? Because what makes sales prevention officers terrifying is they think they're doing the right thing. It's rarely malicious. It's just having the wrong thinking and the wrong behaviour. Here are some ways it may be happening in your business. Maybe when a first-line tech is talking to a client who wants an extra service, maybe they say to them, "Oh, you don't really need that." Which of course damages your relationship with the client, because when someone wants something, they will just go elsewhere to get it. Maybe your help desk team only offers basic versions of new kit or services based on the absurd idea of saving the client money. Maybe when a potential new client phones in to talk to someone, that call or message doesn't receive urgent prioritization above all other activity because it doesn't happen very often. What else happens in your MSP? And it probably happens without you being fully aware. And the way to get round sales prevention officers is to systemize all aspects of sales, both for new clients and upselling existing clients. For example, if you have 3 versions of a package or a service, so like a good choice, a better choice, and a best choice, this allows the client to pick the option that's best for them. And sales prevention officers can't screw that up for you so long as they offer all 3 versions in every single opportunity. If you have annual strategic reviews, you can create an opportunity to tell the client what else you can do to make their lives easier. Some will choose to buy it and some won't. Oh, and by the way, if you think you really don't have a sales prevention officer somewhere in your business, I'm sorry, but you're probably wrong. In fact, sometimes, you know who the worst offender can be? I'm pointing a finger at you, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, because business owners like you and me, we have no accountability. It means that sometimes we act in ways that we just wouldn't accept from our staff.
Paul Green's MSP Marketing Edge.